My first introduction to the TOBE project was through the website and the resources. And I was impressed, very impressed, because it's very thorough. And I wanted to know which each component was. So I just raised questions about when I see such titles as research and the guidebook and the goals. Those questions came to mind, and you can find some answers as you dig into each item. But I had some big questions that are always on a practical level. I was concerned about the timing, not concerned, but how did this begin? How did it develop? How much time was given for the development of the material amongst the different members, the sharing of the material amongst members. So I was really intrigued with the timing. And of course, the little hiccup or the big issue was, how did this develop during times of the pandemic when I'm sure the partners had to pivot? So timing was something that came to mind, and it was clear when I looked this morning on the website to review it. I realized that you were able to meet a few times to work together to share ideas, to share your programs, and I believe develop your initiatives with a common goal in mind. I was also interested, had questions about the resources. I always believe that we need a source, some content to begin the discussions, to have the kids work inside the material. So I had questions about the resources. We're theater and education companies, but did we all experience a play? Did the students work through theater? Was it a story that was presented to them? So those are just some practical things. And I was not concerned, absolutely not concerned, but I had some questions about the resources because I always want those available to me so I can borrow from them as well in my head to see what material are they using. I'm a literature-based person, so that always intrigues me, but I don't think we can do drama work without starting with a source. And the theater and education companies each have their way of introducing it, and I like that. I like that there was actually questions too about the buy-in from the teachers, because this is huge professional development, quality professional development. So very practical questions. How did you choose the partners? What was the buy-in from the teachers? What was the buy-in from the students? Of course, working through administration as well. And that leads back to timing. How much time were these teachers willing to commit to this? How much work were they willing to do outside of the artists working with them as well? So again, those are practical questions, and that moves to timing as well. But I had questions about the partnership with teachers that I know that was well developed, because teachers did some really extensive reflections, as did the students. So I was intrigued with the partnership. Those are some questions. And the learning, the big question, what was the learning for every participant? What was the learning for the teacher? What was the learning for the artist? What was the learning for the students? The big question, of course, was there any changes? So there's no doubt that this has had a positive impact, that there was buy-in and motivation and engagement and learning. But is there a way to determine how change happened, and were the goals exceptionally achieved about addressing well-being? So those are some key questions that came to mind as I was reviewing the materials.